It's not anything to be ashamed of to say, well, it kind of looks like that structure's worked quite well for the entire duration of mankind, and so maybe we mess with it at our peril.
You're hearing about family values from the childless and unmarried. Don't follow them.
The women have to stop blaming men for their sense of malaise or misery.
I didn't create you people to kill and torture and rape each other. I created you to be good to each other. I love the God who had a flood.
All right, guys. This is going to be a celebratory video because I could not be prouder of the Proud Boys. Holy cow. Now, for those of you who are just tuning in, or if you've been living under a rock, the story goes as follows. There have been a slew of articles condemning the Proud Boys for assaulting people in front of their own event. Gavin McInnes had a speech. He had an event going on at a venue. And what happened is counter-protesters came and started trouble. And Proud Boys were swiftly seen stomping the crap out of Antifa members. Now, the aftermath of this is, and you don't hear this in the articles immediately, is that 3 people were arrested. They don't immediately tell you who got arrested. Turns out that it was only the Antifa members who got arrested. And the reason for this is because, well, the Proud Boys did nothing wrong. We all know they didn't do anything wrong. They were there at their own event. So, a New York politician, I assume it's Cuomo. I'm just assuming that. I haven't double-checked that, but I'm assuming it's Cuomo. I'm pretty sure I saw that somewhere. Cuomo said, it's a damn shame that none of the Proud Boys got arrested for their violent acts, so I want an investigation. So the Proud Boys themselves went back to the venue and got video of the altercation. And what they basically show is Antifa crossing across the threshold and throwing stuff at the Proud Boys. And the Proud Boys responded with overwhelming force. And the Proud Boys did not apologize. They didn't capitulate. They didn't barter. They didn't try to bargain with the Antifa. They just laid them flat out. And anyone who tries to confront the Proud Boys knows that this is what they're going to get. And I support it. I'm 100% behind it. There's no reason to not be behind it. The Proud Boys were the ones who were being attacked. The problem that some people have, or that people used to have, I should say, because that paradigm is shifting. People are looking at Antifa and going, holy shit, these people are violent. These people are complete a-holes, and they don't want us to have freedom of speech. And so the paradigm is shifting so that people no longer feel sorry for Antifa, and the mainstream media is looking at us like we're the crazy ones for daring to look at Antifa as anything other than benevolent, angelic figures of progress and change. To hell with that. We don't want that. We want to have freedom of speech. We would rather have freedom of speech over hope and change. Freedom trumps hope and change. I hope that that is clear at this point. I hope that that is the mainstay message from here on out. And the fact is that we regret that it's gotten to this point. And, there are tweets after this event that have basically said, it's open season on Proud Boys and their families, barricade their homes, burn their houses down, family members and children are acceptable collateral damage. And it's like, oh, okay, you want to start a war against the winning team? That's not a smart idea. I would hope that this is not something that most people would want to endorse or a path that they would want to choose. I think that would be a rather dumb idea for the opposition. I don't think that's a good tactic for Antifa. Go ahead, try and take down a Proud Boy's home. I don't want that to happen, but I know what the consequences will be. The consequences for that will be war. The Proud Boys aren't going to take that shit. They're not going to take it lying down. They're going to find you. And justice will be served as it ought to be served. I mean, the level of sympathy that we should have for these literal domestic terrorists should be zero. You should have no compassion for these people at this point, because they're willing to attack you and then play the victim. That is the lowest of the low. That's not even going low. That's just, emerging from the sludge and trying to drag you in it and claim that, you're just as bad as they are. You're not as bad as they are. You know you're not as bad as they are. You know that you have the moral high ground, so start acting like it. And this is why I'm really proud of the poll that I launched about whether we're too civil with the left. And we are too civil with the left. We have been too civil with the left. They've been taking the gloves off, and we've been wearing 16-ounce gloves. And for them it's a pillow fight, and for us we're getting our teeth knocked out. Take the gloves off. Take the gloves off. Or finally, it's about time that we took the gloves off and gave them what for. We're bigger. We're stronger. We have the moral right to believe what we believe, and we've been towing the line for too long. And they've been picking at us. They've been constantly picking us, saying, "You're not going to do anything. You're not going to do anything." Well, now we're doing things, and they don't know how to handle it. They're calling for investigations. Let them call for an investigation. You know you're in the right. You know that you've dotted your I's and crossed your T's. You know that they're going to attack you first. They can't help it. They cannot help themselves, because violence is the only thing they know how to do, because that's what happens when you have no argument. Antifa is Antifa because they have no argument. If they had an argument, they'd be giving it to us, but they can't. They are completely incoherent. They have no way to defend their beliefs, so violence is their only avenue. And when they get to that point, violence is the only option that's left. And that's not something that the Proud Boys did. That's not something that you or I have done. That's just the fact. That's just the reality of the times. And I'm glad that there is a group out there who has stepped up and said, enough is enough.